Yay Networks.
Welcome back to In the Cards and Stars. I'm your host, Britt Madrid Mogensen. And in this episode, we are going to take a deep dive into Pisces season, the do's and don'ts, the aesthetic, what to wear, how to make the most of this season. It's going to be a lot of fun. All right, so let's talk about Pisces season. When is it? What does it mean? Do you have to be a Pisces to participate? No, you don't. Just because it's not your sun sign or your moon sign or your rising sign, understanding the general vibe that every single season brings can help you really make the most of it. So let's discuss. February 18th through March 19th is when the sun moves into the sign of Pisces. And that means the energy gets creative, spiritual, emotionally deep. Things just start to feel a little bit more magical, a little more ethereal. The realities of our day-to-day life and all the things that we usually put so much stock into start to kind of slip in their importance. We start to find ourselves daydreaming a little bit more, dreaming big. Pisces is the 12th and final zodiac sign, which means that it really embodies every other sign. So there's this immense empathy, and there's also a lack of boundaries. And we can see that certain Pisces sun signs, like Justin Bieber, for example, can experience both the beautiful, like spiritual aspects of that sign. You know, he's very religious. I've seen him like talk to his fans on the street and give them hugs, and he can be like just so kind and benevolent and loving. You can just see him glowing in that energy. His fans call themselves Beliebers. Like, you can't get more Pisces than that. The Pisces motto is I believe. So it's just like so Pisces. But then on the dark side, when Justin went through some really difficult times, very Pisces of him, by the way, to share it openly, where a lot of celebrities don't do that, just to want to bring that empathy and that lack of boundaries, you know, to share everything, put it all out there. He fell into the Pisces trap of abusing substances. We've seen him really experience this dual nature of Pisces. The symbol of Pisces is two fish swimming in opposite directions. Again, Justin Bieber is just like so perfect as an example, because it's like there are these two sides of the personality that are always pulling against one another, like spiritual, the material, wanting to run away from contact with other people because it's like so overwhelming, or wanting to rush towards other people because there's this immense empathy and wanting to get involved with everything. This is the Pisces dilemma. Depending on your birth chart, Pisces energy is going to affect you a little bit differently. So I want you guys to ask yourself, where is Pisces in my birth chart? Do I have any natal planets in Pisces? Do any of the houses in my chart start in Pisces? Because the vibes that we're talking about, that will really impact you in the place where you have strong Pisces energy in your birth chart. So for example, my second house, which is the house of making money, income, starts in Pisces. I'm naturally drawn to making money through the exploration of emotion, spirituality, and creativity. Like, I made this Pisces outfit, and I may even start selling zodiac sign outfits because I just love making them. So like, that's how you can get to know your birth chart on a personal level, which we are all about. Because what I always like to say is that you're a star in your own birth chart. You are the star of your own show. Every single person is a light. Everyone is special. And that might sound cheesy to say, but it's so true. And the more you get to know your birth chart, the more you realize your gifts, you're made aware of them, you're reminded of them. It's really cool. And I just think it's such a great, like, self-esteem builder and like self-actualization tool. Okay, back to it. So a few interesting things that I've noticed about Pisces sun sign people, Pisces rising, Pisces Venus, or if you have it in any of your houses, wherever that is in your chart. Something I've noticed about this energy is that there is a real mix of soft and strong. Again, there's that dual nature, the two fish going in opposite directions. It's soft and strong. It's a mix of glamour but also like this gutsiness, this strength. Pisces is an old soul. So two Pisces sun signs that I think really just like show us this is obviously Rihanna, Pisces queen, and Elizabeth Taylor. Neptune rules Pisces, and Neptune is like all about like the beautiful illusions in our life. I think of Elizabeth Taylor when I think of beautiful illusions because being in that old Hollywood age, all about like the image, all about portraying yourself in this impossible, breathtaking way constantly. Like they didn't have celebrities are just like us. It was like celebrities were on this glamorous, magical pedestal. It just seemed like their lives were so perfect. And Pisces energy, it can be that. Neptune in astrology is that dream. It is beauty. It is confusing because sometimes it's not real. Just like Hollywood, Hollywood isn't real. Elizabeth Taylor's life, it was this glamorous, so many, like so much fashion, so many jewels, so many husbands, 8 weddings to 7 men, a great legendary love, Richard Burton. So there was so much of that in her life, but there was this dual nature of also someone who had 7 different husbands. One of them had, died. She had to remarry the love of her life, Richard Burton, because they got divorced at one point after a decade. She went through these ups and downs. She is that Pisces girl. Okay. She is that girl. I actually saw her jewelry collection at the Cartier exhibit when I was in New York in 2018. And like, guys, I'm speechless. They were more beautiful than I could have even imagined. The opulence. It was so unforgettable. That is just a little taste of glamorous silver screen siren that is the epitome of Pisces energy. So let's talk about Rihanna, who actually has a Pisces tattoo behind her ear. She knows all about her zodiac sign. She identifies with her zodiac sign. She like really displays the Pisces grit, strength mixed with like femininity and glamour. Another thing about Pisces is they tend to have really big, beautiful eyes that are like, it's like looking into deep water. So whether it's your sun sign, your rising sign, or your Venus sign, if you have a lot of Pisces energy, you probably have those big, beautiful eyes. Eyes are the windows to the soul. And of course, they have to be huge because Pisces energy is all about that deep soul connection, letting go and becoming one with the universe, which is why it's the last sign. It's like when we let go of everything before we begin again in Aries season. So it's just a cool energy. Let's talk about the Pisces aesthetic. If this is a strong placement for you, this is going to be something that you probably already gravitate toward. These are going to be lucky colors, lucky looks for you all year round. And if you don't have any strong Pisces placements, but here you are in this season and you want to make the most of it, you want to channel the energy, here are the tips that you are going to want to take in. The colors to wear during Pisces season are seafoam green, purples, blues, silver, anything that shimmers like the ocean or like a beautiful gem. Think of like Elizabeth Taylor's jewels. Like, oh my gosh. If you guys want to also get inspired by something just like next level, check out the Blondes 2023 runway show. I just watched it the other day and they said that it was inspired by Elizabeth Taylor. If you're watching on YouTube, I'm popping up a photo of that. I feel like there are like 2 kinds of Pisces in the world. There is the Pisces that really indulges in like mermaid dressing, which is what I'm wearing right now. It is the very literal interpretation. It's the pearls, it is the starfish, the sparkles, it's the glitz, the glam. It is really like fun and in your face. Then there is the silver screen siren or like the more understated, muted, sultry Pisces energy. So depending on your mood, you can switch back and forth, right? Because the duality, we have endless options in Pisces season. We got to also make sure that we try to like have some sort of boundary because you can just get lost. You can get lost in the deep waters of emotion and creativity. But it's like, who wouldn't want to get lost at sea there? It's like, maybe just let me drift off. Cindy Crawford is a Pisces sun. And I was looking at some of her 90s makeup looks, like at different award shows. And she did a lot of like muted, smoky, like brown and gray. And that gray and like silver, really, really flattering for Pisces. It's this siren energy, but it is a little bit more toned down than, say, Rihanna or Elizabeth Taylor. Makeup, smoky, glossy, shimmery colors that we're looking for are going to range from like that smoky gray, like I said, with the Cindy Crawford energy, all the way to purple and blue. It's glowy skin, it's shimmery eyes, it's dewy and ultra feminine, super glamorous. It's like They look like a mermaid or a glittering starlet. The whole Charlotte Tilbury aesthetic is very old Hollywood, right? Really accentuating the sultriness of like the eye. Just think like the seductress, the siren, but there's also something just so feminine and like beautiful, almost like doll-like about them. Do you know what I mean? Like it's not like the Scorpio siren. It's more of like for this time of year. Don't get married in Vegas. Don't pull an Elizabeth Taylor. Don't indulge in too much escapism. Don't avoid your responsibilities because they're only going to get bigger and more annoying because if you drag them into Aries season, you're going to regret it. In Aries season, we are going to be fired up. It's like, so you want to go all in with Pisces season. You want to just like wrap everything up, wrap all of the emotions up, have any hard conversations, declutter if you can, because we're going to be fired up and like ready to go on all new things in Aries season. Okay. Here are the do's. Do get a tarot deck. Self-explanatory. No, but you can use it for like self-care. There's a book called Tarot for Self-Care. It's actually so cool. And it teaches you how to read yourself and you like ask yourself questions and use it for like journal prompts. I love it so much. Okay. Spend time in or near water. Think like a bathtub or even a long shower with some like chill music. You could put like a beachscape on your television while you work or while you do some other things around the house. It's just creating that like tranquil, delicious atmosphere. I like to get candles that are like beach scented candles around Pisces season because it just makes me feel that kind of dreamy energy of like a vacation or like a nice bathtub. Or if you can go to the beach right now, fabulous. Keep a journal and record your dreams. Pisces rules all of the like the unconscious, the subconscious, the karma in our charts, like everything that's hidden. So this is a great time to keep a journal because like things might just come to you randomly when you least expect it. When I was in Dallas last week, I was about to leave the hotel to like get on the flight, come back to Kansas City. And I was like, before I left the room, I was like, oh my gosh, I need a journal. And I did like a little bit of journaling. I pulled some tarot cards for myself. I have this thing where you can like take a photo and like print the sticker out. Here, I'm gonna show you guys. If you're watching on YouTube, I'm gonna let you see my journal. Let's see. Oh, this is like super private. Hold on. Let me hide this part. But yeah, see, so it's like, so I did the reading and like what it means and like what it means to me. And so this is just like a really good time to do little things like that. Like if inspiration strikes, just know that this is the season when that's going to happen with, I think, even more meaning than usual. It's sort of like anything that we've been dealing with over the last like 12 months, ever since this time last year, it's like the universe will send you these hits, this wisdom, these hints of like these hits of inspiration. Even thinking back and, like, reflecting on how much you've grown since this time last year, like, what's changed about you? What do you love? And then another thing, this is a good time to set goals because I find that when you set goals me, the Virgo sun, always setting goals, but truly, like, especially if you're more of a creative person, I feel like the goals that we set during Pisces season are more spiritually aligned because we're in a place that is more spiritual. We're more connected to our subconscious. We're more connected to the spirit, like beauty and like spirituality, like the things that fulfill us on a soul level. So if you set goals right now, in Pisces season, we call them dreams because that's just like the language of Pisces energy. But this is when, if you do have things that come through for you where you're like, you know what, I did this last year. I think I'm going to do that next year. Allow yourself to dream, allow yourself to believe, because this is also when we can really manifest things. The veil is thin during Scorpio season, but the veil is gone during Pisces season. Okay. It's like, there are no boundaries. There is nothing separating us from the spiritual world. And I think the more you are tuned into your intuition and the more you trust it, the more you'll notice little things popping up. Like, for example, what is it? It was the very beginning of Pisces season, like so a few days ago. My husband Michael and I were in the car and we were talking about his mom who's passed. and we like to talk about her sometimes to honor her. And he like tells you different memories and things. And he was talking about her like this shed that she had. Long story short, I looked up. We were driving, and I looked up, and there was this like this is by our neighborhood. It was like this shed, like, but it was like this really cute, like little painted shed, and it said "she shed" on the front. This like drove by it. Never seen it before in my life, but I saw it literally when he was saying shed, and I just said, "Oh, that's your mom saying hi to us." So it's like things like that, and it's like if you blink, you'll miss it. So during Pisces season, I would say just like slow down, pay attention to things like numbers that you see, any repeating numbers, any like repeating animals that you see. Like I know this is kind of what you're like, what? But it's like spirit animals. Like spirit animals all have meaning. So like if a ladybug pops up in your office, Google that. What does a ladybug mean? Like what message does a ladybug have? It will shock you. The kinds of things that start coming through will shock you. And I would say just write all those down in your journal, record them. Also, and I was at Target yesterday, and I got this BU bracelet. It says BU, and it was from like the Little Words Project. I think, yeah, Little Words Project. And it has like these different phrases that, it's like, what are you wanting to bring into your life? And for me, it's like being more myself, more authentic, more self acceptance, right? So I saw it. I had this like draw to that one. And I was like, you know what? And there's like a little smiley face on it. And I was like, you know what? It's Pisces season. I feel this. This is coming up for my subconscious. I know it, bought it, and I'm going to wear it like until I feel like I have embodied that BU energy. It's probably going to be until next time this year. So coming up with a theme for yourself or something that resonates with you on a soul level is something that is fun to do during Pisces season. Also with numerology. So when I was in Dallas, I do this every time. I highly suggest doing this. It's actually a lot of fun, and it's pretty informative. It's crazy. Once you start paying attention to these things, you're like, what the hell? So I always look at my room number and I do the numerology. Basically, you just add it up. So the last place I was in Dallas, at the W, I'll just tell you the room. It was 906, and those numbers are really important to me in numerology. And the fact that it was 906, I was like, whoa. So I was like, this is going to be a very transformative trip. The place I was at before that, because I went to a couple different hotels because I was like visiting friends. I went to a different one. Anyway, the numbers added up to 8. And it was interesting because when I was first there, it's like abundance and also like finances and stuff like that. And so I was thinking about my finances. I was feeling very abundant. So you can kind of see like what your experience is going to be or what the intended experience is going to be from the universe that you can choose to receive based on the hotel room number. And we can do more of that. There's like something called travel astrology. There's so much. Thank God we have a podcast to talk about all of it. All right, you guys, but I love you so much. And I hope that you just have the best Pisces season. I hope that you really allow yourself to dream and let go of boundaries that you usually things that you may hide from yourself. It's also a good time to go see a therapist if there are things that you want to heal and work on. But most importantly, Pisces is the sign of unconditional love. So the more we can give that unconditional love to ourselves and find that compassion for other people, the better, while still maintaining our boundaries in the best way possible. It's a balance. It's a balance. Okay. So before we go, we are going to do a tarot reading. I'm losing my voice a little bit, so I apologize. Okay, we're going to do a tarot tea time reading on Shawn and Sabrina Carpenter. I am so curious. There was a Dumois blind item where these two were spotted at an LA hotspot called Horses. I looked into the restaurant. Okay, it didn't look super romantic, so I'll tell you that. I was like, this looks like a really great place where you would go to meet either a friend or like someone you were thinking of working with. And I really didn't know anything about Sabrina Carpenter. She's like, I think she's like she's like really young. She used to be a Disney star. Anyway, but I looked up some stuff about her just to see, and I was like, oh, I like her music a lot. And I was like, I could totally see her making a song with Shawn. So were they there for romantic purposes, or were they talking about making a song together? So I'm like, I really have the feeling it could be a song. So let's find out. All right, first, let's get, ooh, the cards are jumping. I like that. Let's get Shawn's energy towards Sabrina. What card represents his energy towards her? And I'm not going to take reversed cards this time, FYI, if you're watching on YouTube. Only going to read them upright. Justice. Interesting. Okay. So he sees her as like someone who is very balanced. And I think she's a Taurus sun, but he sees her as someone who's like very balanced, someone that has a great sense of like logic. And it's almost like someone that he can like bounce ideas off of and discuss things with. This is not a romantic card, but it is a card of a lot of respect. He may also be like, this may also be his energy of like friendship towards her. Like maybe she's the friend that brings him balance in some way, or can give him a balanced perspective when he's feeling lost about something. All right, so let's see. And by the way, Shawn Mendes is a Pisces South node. So again, with like that feeling lost, the spiritual exploration. If you, oh my gosh, that the cover of his album Wonder, if you look into a lot of his themes and you look at like, you listen to a lot of his themes, like the things he's talked about, his anxiety and everything, you can see that Pisces South node energy that he's going to be bringing through to his Virgo North node in this lifetime. So he's like marrying the two. So I could totally see him wanting to be around people who have grounded earth energy, if she is in fact a Taurus sun, because Virgo's a sun sign. Okay. All right. Because Virgo is an earth sign. All right. Let's see. What are her feelings towards him? How does Sabrina Carpenter view Shawn Mendes? Let's see what we got. The King of Pentacles. All right. Well, she sees him as very successful. Interesting. I feel like, okay, I feel like it's work already. She sees him as very successful. It's like he is someone that could really help her in her career, to put it bluntly. Let's get a card for the nature of their connection right now. So far, we've gotten nothing romantic. Chariot, things moving fast. Queen of Cups. Okay, strong emotional. That's romantic. The Queen of Cups is the most loving, emotional, romantic card in the deck. What? If we get the King of Cups, I'm going to be beside myself. One last one. The Queen of Wands, passion. All right. I'm going to go out on a limb and say that actually was a romantic date. I think that they started off with this energy of like mutual respect and friendship. And then like originally coming together to work on something, or maybe that was like her motivation. But it's quickly, the Chariot, turned into a lot of love and passion. I am so interested to see what happens with these two. I mean, nothing here is showing permanence, but we are getting cards that tell us something's possibly going on here. Something could be going on. All right, so we'll stay tuned. We will stay tuned. I love you guys so much. Thank you for being here. I appreciate you guys listening, and thank you guys so much for listening. Follow the show by hitting the plus symbol and make sure to leave me a review, please. I want to hear what you guys think of In the Cards and Stars. Also, leave me a request with your review. Is there something that you guys want me to get into more of? We are in this together, guys. We are all exploring the cosmos, our souls as a little team. So let me know what you want to hear. On Tuesday, we are going to be talking about March astrology. Saturn's going to be changing places. Pluto's changing places. There's going to be a lot of relief that we're all going to get in certain areas of our lives. And then we're also going to be shifting into learning new lessons. So it's a really good time to reset and to bring your calendar so that you can write down all the things that you need to know, the special dates to do this or do that. I like to give you guys an overview when the astrology is really strong, so that you know like when to plan a meeting, when to plan a date, all that good stuff. So we'll get into that next episode. We're also going to have some listeners on for live calls. I can't wait to talk to you guys. All right. I will see you next Tuesday. Have a great week.